Everyone, it's Joe Waxman, the mediocre astrologer. Man, he's okay. What's up, everyone? This is a part two to a video I just recently made. I was looking at it further and realized there's a bunch of stuff that I could have added, but just as well, make another video about it. And so what I want to do is look back to the time where Jupiter initially stationed retrograde and in America's history in the secondary progress lunation chart for America for the Sibly chart, and go through some history to find out what this Jupiter in retrograde actually means for us and what it means to have been retrograde, to station retrograde initially, been retrograde all these years, station direct, and then move direct in the future. So to really understand that, we have to look to the past. Guys, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, book a reading with me, macrogoldmachine@yahoo.com. That's my email. Um, yeah, subscribe to my Patreon if you like. It's not set up yet, but if you just want to support me, that's great. I'll leave the link below. Um, yeah, let's get right into it. So first of all, I want to look at the chart. This is just the secondary progressions, but you can see that Jupiter is stationed at 25 degrees Cancer at March 21st, 1906. So this is huge, guys, because Jupiter's been retrograde for the pretty much the whole 20th century, right? And up until now. And if we look here, I got it at the exact 0 degree travel speed, right? It's fully stationed. March 21st, 1906. Okay. At 25 degrees Cancer. Now it's at 15 degrees Cancer, so we have about 10 degrees of um of what shadow period, I guess you could call to make up for. But that's okay because it's all in Cancer where Jupiter is good. But let's read about it. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit boring, but believe me, it's worth it if you can tolerate it. We're going to go through 1904, 1905, 1906, 1907, and 1908 just to see the trends of a little bit before the station, during the station, and a little bit after the station. We're going to see how that what happens, right? And so Theodore Roosevelt was became president right at this time, and for the whole duration of the station. Um, let's see. I'm going to skip over some. Well, all right. I'll read. I'll just I don't know. First large scale bodybuilding competition, Blackstone Library. Um, so what we're going to see a lot of is land stuff because Jupiter is ruling not only the ascendant but the fourth whole sign house. Yeah, third quadrant, but fourth whole sign house. So um, yeah, so you're going to see a lot of core identity stuff with America, but also land and home things, as well as religious significations, Jupiter, and as well as minority stuff because Cancer, women, minority groups, things like that, the vulnerable, right? Right. Blackstone Library. Henry Ford sets new automobile land speed record. So the car was being developed just at this time in American history as Jupiter was stationing. Um, Baltimore fire. For 10 million, United States gains control of the Panama Canal Zone. So that's land stuff. Um, Joseph F. Smith announces the Second Manifesto in General Conference of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Utah Territory, prohibiting the practice of polygamy. I thought they still do polygamy. I don't know, but whatever. Anyway, so that's religious stuff. Jupiter. Longacre Square in Midtown Manhattan is renamed Times Square. Um, Land stuff. Louisiana Purchase exception. World Fair opens. Okay. Celebration, I guess. U.S. Army engineer begin work in the Panama Canal. Sports, who cares? Um, Sorority is founded. Blah blah. Fire. A lot of stuff is just going to be like mundane stuff that always happens. Um, Third Olympic Games opens. Uh, Ice cream cone is invented. Okay. Train wreck. High school opens. Newmarket train wreck. Um, okay, the Daytona Educational Industrial Training School for Negro Girls, predecessor or Bethune-Cookman University is open in Florida. Okay. Um, International Medical Fraternity, not interesting. Co-ed professional business, no. Shogun, no. Um, Fraternity, Bank of Italy, Polytechnic University of the Philippines. Um, the first underground line in New York City subway opens. That's land stuff, right? Fourth house, building. U.S. president election, Theodore Roosevelt defeats, blah, blah, blah. Continuous track tractor successfully demonstrated. So that's more fourth house, like building, right? Um, East Boston Tunnel opens for streetcars. First New Year's Eve celebrations held in Times Square. Um, all right, so that's 1904. Let's go to 1905. All right. Landmark case, Supreme Court renders unanimous decision, Swift versus Cove versus the United States, allowing federal government to regulate monopolies. So what's happening is that Jupiter is stationing, but it's about to go retrograde. So we're going to see a lot of restrictive stuff, as well as just well, some others. I mean, just in general significations of things. Let's see. Roosevelt begins his first full term. Um, he marries his fifth cousin. About that. Plumas National Forest is established, so a lot of land stuff. We'll see. Chicago Teamster strike. Klamath National Forest is established. Gunnison National Forest is established. Las Vegas, Nevada is founded. St. Tikhon's Orthodox Monastery is founded, so religious stuff. Sawtooth National Forest is established. Lewis and Clark Centennial Exposition is held in Portland, Oregon. Lesson National Forest is established. San Juan and Payette National Forest is established. Uncompahgre National Forest is established. So a lot of forests established. So land stuff. The founding convention of the Industrial Workers of the World, a Radical Workers Union, which is great impact during the first 2 decades of okay. The Radical Workers Union. Feels Jupiterian. Cancer, protecting the vulnerable. All right. W.E.B. Du Bois and William Monroe Trotter established the Niagara Movement, precursor to the NAACP. It's a civil rights organization. Vanguard, many of whom were among the vanguard of African American lawyers in the United States. Okay, so race stuff, civil rights. Secretary of War talks with Prime Minister. Russo Japan War, that's not related. September 11th, 19 died, 48 are seriously injured in the 9th Avenue elevated train, also in Manhattan. So September 11th, that comes up. Wow. Let's see here. Okay. Resigned from Corinth 12 pro disputing the church, Latter-day Saints status against polygamy. It was reaffirmed in the Second Manifesto. Okay. More religious stuff. Tonto National Forest is established. Wright brothers' third airplane stays in the air for 39 minutes with Wilbur piloting. So that's interesting. Jupiter stationing retrograde, and that there's still a lot of progress being made, especially with automobiles and planes. Um, okay. Let's go to 1906, and this is the year it stations fully, right? It's taking a few years to station, so like it's probably going to be stationed all these years, but fully 1906. Okay. Landslide. Upton Sinclair publishes The Jungle, a novel depicting the life of a contemporary immigrant family in Chicago. Native American tribal governments are terminated in Indian territory, a prerequisite for creating the U.S. state of Oklahoma. Interesting. Very relevant. Maryland General Assembly authorized the erection of United Soul. So a monument in Baltimore. Okay. First service is held at African Methodist Episcopal Church in LA. Um, an event which launches the Pentecostal movement in Christianity. Okay. Religion and civil rights issues. San Francisco earthquake. Interesting. Because Jupiter's ruling the fourth whole sign house. Interesting. Um, First inmates are moved to the Cully and leper colony, but okay, I'm not sure. The Durham and Southern Railway operates its first revenue train, Bonsai to Durham, North Carolina. Interesting. So train. Theodore Roosevelt signs the Antiquities Act into law, authorizing the president to restrict the use of certain parcels of public land with historical or conservative value. So yeah, land restriction. Jupiter's about to go retrograde. Lake Country Times begins publication. Nothing. Let's see. A sage allotment acts land to members of the Osage Nation in Oklahoma. Okay. Mesa Verde is declared national park. Uh, Meat Inspection Act and Pure Food and Drug Act. Some more starting to be slightly restrictive. Murder of Grace Brown, Gary, Indiana is founded by the United States Steel Corporation. Atlanta race riots in Atlanta, Georgia result in 27 people killed and black-owned businesses districts severely damaged. So with this Jupiter stationing, we should see a lot of I mean, we are seeing already racial themes coming up and civil rights and all that, and that should remain on the top of the news cycle these next few years, but in a at least forward moving direction. Roosevelt proclaims Devil Tower, Wyoming's national first monument. Uh, just moving through some of these that don't seem relevant. So more Panama Canal stuff. Okay, so the Alpha Phi Alpha, the first intercollegiate Greek letter fraternity established for African Americans, is founded at Cornell University. Petrified Forest, Arizona is designated national monument. U.S. President is awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for the Russo-Japanese War. The muffaletta sandwich is invented in New Orleans. Okay, I never had one. I don't even know what that is. Go to 1907. Te so Teamsters, some more union stuff. Um, First Native American U.S. Senator, Nantahala National Forest is established. More Panama Canal, Colville National Forest, Umpqua and Custer National Forest. Um, Hershey Park opens in Hershey, Pennsylvania. Fraternity. Today is the all-time busiest day of immigration through Ellis Island. This will be the busiest year ever seen here, with 1.1 million immigrants arriving. So Jupiter just is still stationed, but it's starting to be retrograde in 1907. Interesting. USS Kansas, Connecticut class battleship is commissioned. So yeah, so immigration will be another issue, apparently, because what happens before when Jupiter's stationed will happen again in a different way, but the same themes will come up. Indian National Forest is established. United States Treasury stops collecting interest. So financial stuff. Um, Chugach National Forest is established. Um, Pike Place Market opens for business. The United Postal Service is founded. That's really interesting. So the UPS could be a theme of in some way during this Jupiter station. Correct. Luxury department store. Washington National Cathedral was started. Religious official office. Bank run forces New York Knickerbocker Trust Company to suspend operations. Major American financial crisis is averted. So this is interesting. Jupiter's just starting to go retrograde. So we have some financial stuff. Jupiter is a general significator of wealth and excess and things of that nature. And so this led to so that they put up some money to create a 25 million pool with JP Morgan and others, a move which ultimately leads to the establishment of the Federal Reserve System. So the Fed will be another theme that comes up with this Jupiter station. Steel company stuff. Co-ed professional business fraternity, so male-female relations. Indian Territory and Oklahoma Territory are combined to become Oklahoma. So more land stuff. At the 46th U.S. state. Big boat sets sail to New York from England. Another national forest is established. First electric ball drops in Times Square. Indiana becomes the world's first legislator to place laws permitting compulsory sterilization for eugenic purposes on the statute book. Interesting. National Rural Education Association is founded in Indiana. Osage Nation retains mineral rights. Okay. We'll do one more year because this is where it gets interesting, I believe. Now, so Jupiter is going even more retrograde. Let's see. Georgia introduces a law prohibiting alcohol. So Jupiter is going retrograde, right? So America is becoming more restrictive, going backwards, not progressing. Okay. The Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority, first Greek letter organization for Black college women, is established. So race stuff seems to be forward moving, which is great. Interesting to see. We'll see what happens with it when it stations and then finally goes direct again. New York City passes the Sullivan Ordinance, making it illegal for people who control public places to allow women to smoke in them. That's interesting. It is vetoed by major um women women to smoke. So yeah, it's becoming it's sort of definitely feeling quite retrograde. Um alrighty, I'm just gonna keep going. Let's see. Japanese immigration to the United States is restricted under the Gentleman's Agreement of 1907. Interesting. Bible Institute of Los Angeles is founded. So more conservative stuff, right? 46 stars added. The State Normal Industrial School for is founded. Uh, some yeah, it's interesting. It's like some conservative stuff, some like negation, denial, but also some forward moving stuff. Um, First Hauser Dam in Montana fails. Natural Bridges National Monument is established. Um, Garfield Park Conservatory in Chicago opens to the public. Mother's Day is observed for the first time. Interesting. Um, Carson National Forest is established. Um, okay, so John Baxter Taylor graduated the University of Pennsylvania, becomes the first African American to win an Olympic gold medal. So Attorney General Charles Joseph Bonaparte issues an order to staff the Office of the Chief Examiner, later renamed the Federal Bureau of Investigation immediately. So the FBI seems to be founded right around this time, just as Jupiter stationing retrograde. Springfield race riots of 1908. General Motors, um, the company which eventually becomes General Motors, was founded right at this time. So there could be issues with GM. GM might face, I don't know. They might just be have some issues. I don't know. Um, Official launch of the Henry Ford's Ford Model T automobile. It's a lot of car stuff. So we should see a lot of car themes as well, right? If the cars were came into being under Jupiter stationing retrograde, then Jupiter stationing direct forward should also mark a new turning point for cars in a probably really positive way. And I don't mean more Teslas and electric cars. I don't think that's really the answer, but we'll see. Um, Church of Nazarene is organized. Blah blah. All right. Um, First Credit Union. Okay. Okay. So we see some trends starting. I mean, that's boring enough and long enough to understand some of the themes that are happening and will come up again. Um, let's just look back here. Okay. So apparently, let's let me pull up um the United States Sibly chart, and then we'll darn. Let me see if I can pull up the no. All right. We just here we are. All right. This is the secondary. This is the current secondary progression, and we see the node is the secondary progressed node is right at the same place where Jupiter stationed retrograde. So now Jupiter stationing direct. Um, there's that discrete. There's that 10 degrees that we lost that we'll have to make up. But let's see. 19 degrees falls right almost right in the middle of the north node and Jupiter, or where Jupiter stationed direct. So it's right in between there, the trine. It'll be at 19 degrees Pisces, the new moon, and Jupiter stationing direct. So all those themes should come up again. Religion, race, civil rights, land issues, and also we started to see like restrictive measures about alcohol and smoking and things like that. Obviously, there's not prohibition anymore, but we are starting to see, the extreme liberal movement towards, legalization of marijuana and things of that nature. I mean, I don't think you should be able to go and buy like crack on the street corner legally. I'm not for that, or heroin or fentanyl, but you can pretty much do right now in Philly. Like you can just go down to Kensington and you get free needles and free Narcan and probably, well, the drugs are probably not free, but you can get them pretty easily, right? So and the cops don't do anything, so it might as well be legal. Like, but that's not a good thing, right? We need better measure for that. But you could see the general trend of things with Jupiter stationing direct, that all the prohibitive stuff that happened in the past is changing direction fully. Yeah. So we're gonna get all those themes mm, reawaken, revisited. A lot of land stuff. Um, yeah, we'll see what happens. Pisces is very, very liberal, so I don't know. I don't I it's anyone's guess, but I think it's really important to tie it to the past and just to realize how long it's been. I mean, that was 1906, it stationed exact um, retrograde, and we are 2024, and it's stationing direct. It will be pretty soon. Um, so yeah, super interesting times for America. Definitely a turning point. Definitely big, big changes. Whoever is elected as president for these next 4 years is going to preside over extremely important time in American history. That's for sure. Right. So we'll see who that is. Hopefully it's somebody who doesn't want to destroy America and who loves America, whoever that may be. All right, guys. That's it. I felt like I needed to add to the last video and point out all these things, just to really show just how important this is. Jupiter turning direct. It's the ascendant lord of America's chart, so it's super duper important, right? And dispositing the new lunation cycle. So this is like epic. It's huge, huge. All right. So guys, that's it. Mediocre astrologist signing off. Man, I'm okay. Hope you're okay. And hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, book a reading with me, macrogomachine at yahoo.com. Leave a comment down below. Say something nice, hopefully. And yeah, that's it, guys. Stay positive, laugh it off, take a victory laugh, win before you win, all that good stuff. All right. Bye.